So I wasn't very clear in how I made the discovery to begin with about the fact that stars are young planets and planets are old stars. Hi, Celeste. Um, when I took geology back in 2004 at the University of Maryland, the first time, um, the first time I went to the University of Maryland, I didn't realize that anything like this would ever occur to me. I learned about the Earth, its layers, the fact that when you go deeper and deeper and deeper, things get weird. And the center of the Earth is made up of a giant iron nickel alloy ball. It's pretty big. And to sort of dramatize this discovery for people and to kind of clarify where their mind should actually be and where my mind is, we should do some math. I know, math. Earth's inner iron nickel core, its radius is about 1,220 kilometers. And for those who don't remember, the radius is the halfway distance between the center from the dead center of the sphere to the outer edge. So that's 1,220 kilometers of distance right there. And the formula for volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. So you take 4/3 times 3.14 times the radius cubed. And 1,220 cubic kilometers is 1.85 billion kilometers. And then you multiply that by 4/3 and 3.14159, whatever. And you come out with the volume of the inner core of the Earth as being 7.6 billion cubic kilometers of iron nickel alloy. We're talking a hell of a lot of alloy, iron nickel alloy, okay? And how I made the discovery was I was looking at that Wikipedia page and I was looking at where it said this is an evolved star right before core collapse, and it had the layers like an onion, and the very center was iron, and I was like, core collapse, that's an evolved star. And then I was thinking to my geology class, I realized that Earth had a giant iron nickel alloy core too, and then boom, it clicked. I realized that Earth was an ancient star. And the dead stars, they have iron nickel cores too, just like Mercury, Mars, Venus, on and on. But that being said, the point of this argument, and I've gotten a few messages by people claiming, oh, well, other things don't match up. I have the trump card for this. In outer space, there is nothing except for a star that can melt down 7.6 billion cubic kilometers of iron and form a giant ball. There's nothing in outer space that can do that except for a star. Because that's exactly what the Earth is. It's the remains of a very old star. And there's a little graph here where I show what happens. The star is born and expands, and then it cools and collapses on itself. But as it cools and collapses, it forms that iron nickel ball in the center that it collects from other smashed up remains of other dead stars. And it just collects it in the center. That's easy because the iron's heavy, it sinks to the center. And the star has the energy to melt it down and collect it. It's a giant furnace. It's a gargantuan furnace that spends its whole evolution becoming what's called a planet. And that being said, you can't have a star spending its whole evolution becoming what scientists call a planet, and at the same time having stars the same age as a planet. For instance, if the process of star evolution is planet formation, then these young objects up here can't be way over here. They have to be over here. And if you don't have these objects, and here's the kicker, this is what people this is what's lost upon them. The astronomers and scientists alike, and a lot of, trolls online and what have you. If you don't have these available, then these can't form at all. If you cut these out of the picture, these can't form. There's no way to form these. If you cut out the young planets from the equation, you have no mechanism to heat down, to melt down all that iron nickel alloy. And you also have no mechanism to collect it in the center, which is the star's huge gravitational field. It's as simple as that. Unless the astronomers can offer a mechanism to melt down, by my calculations, 7.6 billion cubic kilometers of iron nickel alloy without there being a star involved, I don't know what to say. Because it's just the facts are staring at them right in the face. There's no way to form a planet outside of it being star evolution itself. And it's really that simple. And that's why I have the sun as being very, very young. And all the arguments that state that the Earth had to have been in orbit around the sun are kaput because of that, because of simple physics. There's nothing in the vacuum that can melt down all that iron nickel alloy except for a star. It's really simple to understand here. And basically, that's it. That's how the discovery was made. Is that I remember when I was a kid, and I used to watch various shows on volcanoes and lava and stuff. I'm like, why is there lava? What is this all about? Why is there liquid rock in the center of the Earth? Why is it coming out? Well, the Earth is still cooling off. It's very late stages of the star's evolution. It hasn't completely solidified yet. It's nowhere near Venus's age, and Venus is nowhere near Mercury's age. But over time, all that material will solidify and come out on the surface, and the crust will solidify over, and the oceans will evaporate, and all life will die. Kind of sad, but don't worry, don't panic. It's not going to happen anytime soon. We still have probably a couple tens of millions of years to live here before, it goes kaput on us, but still, it's going to happen eventually. All right, guys, I think that sums it up. Later.